We are in the dog days of summer. Lots of people want to be outside enjoying the weather and the heat. Others want to be inside escaping the heat. And one way to do that is by checking out some new videos. Mick Werkhoven from Bull Moose is with us with a selection of 5 new releases, which are kind of all over the place.
Very much all over the place. This is a something for everybody list. Very much so.
Let's begin with one that's out on Blu-ray. It's called Flying Guillotine 2, so it is a sequel, and the original is considered kind of a classic of the genre.
Yeah, so Master of the Flying Guillotine is somewhat of an infamous film. Quentin Tarantino cites it as one of his primary inspirations.
只要是汉人，每3天杀一个人。这话就是天条，斩！
And this was a sequel that was made a couple of years after the original, that has been, sort of reformatted and remastered from the old tapes and the old masters. And Flying Guillotine,
really violent, really
it's very, very violent,
over the top.
And the Flying Guillotine is a contraption that looks kind of like a little frisbee, and then you throw it at your enemy, and it expands into like a big basket that fits around somebody's head, and then just takes it off. So it's. It is very over the top, but I don't know. The original was great, and I'm excited to see the second one.
All right, and an inspiration to Tarantino.
And
in a different realm, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on Blu-ray.
So again, another sequel. So children of the '90s will remember the whole, Nintendo versus Sega console wars. Mario obviously wiped the floor in the video game realm, but Sonic is going to rule the box office. Sonic 1 was the first good video game movie, and Sonic 2 was even better.
So help me, Thomas! Sorry. Life or death situation, I need you to use the ring to save me, like right now. No, my God.
It's just it totally leads into the fact that Sonic is just a weird little guy, and he's got his weird little guy friends. Idris Elba gives an amazing deadpan performance as Knuckles, and Jim Carrey comes back as a completely manic, Ace Ventura type Robotnik.
Right.
And the soundtrack has Pantera on it, so what a movie.
So that's an impressive talent. I mean, Jim Carrey and so forth, when you get him doing voices, that's taking a level up right there.
He's great.
A film from David Cronenberg, who is a director who's done a lot of interesting stuff over the years. Some of it really good, some of it pretty awful, but it gets people talking. This film is called Crimes of the Future, and it's out on Blu-ray.
So this is Crimes of the Future, directed by David Cronenberg, 2022, not to be confused with Crimes of the Future, directed by David Cronenberg, 1970. Those two movies have nothing in common. They're not remakes. They're not contiguous. They just have the same name.
52 years apart.
52's, yeah.
It is time to listen. It is time to stop seeing.
This is more sort of classic Cronenberg, very fly, Videodrome, Naked Lunch. It's all about biohacking and transhumanism and body horror. Did not get a super wide release. I think it only was at the Nick for 2 weeks, so I missed it. And I'm really excited to see it because even the bad Cronenberg movies I like quite a lot because they're bad. Naked Lunch in particular was one of those ones where it's this movie is bad, but I love it.
Yeah, you have a weakness for those kinds of movies.
I do have a weakness for those movies. It's true.
On to a movie that you describe as sort of a traditional horror movie. It's called Men. What's the word on this?
Again, more of a traditional horror movie in that it's not a body horror film, but it's about a widower whose partner commits suicide.
Hello.
Hi.
Mrs. Marlowe, yes?
Harper, yes.
Do, come in.
And she goes to this idyllic town in England where everybody in that town is the same person. They all have the same face, and it just gets progressively weirder and weirder and more psychological, and it's very creepy.
Yeah.
And then it kind of veers off into the surreal towards the end of it. But it's more traditional up until towards the end.
I'm kind of intrigued.
It was good.
Let's end on a lighter note. A film called Vevo, and this takes us in a completely different direction.
Yes. So we have sort of scary kids, scary kids.
Yeah.
So this is a animated musical comedy with a bunch of new songs from Lin-Manuel Miranda. So he wrote the songs for Encanto. Obviously, he did Hamilton, and it's about a South American musician and their partner who is a kinkajou.
Come down from the tree. You can stay with me.
And if you're not familiar with kinkajous, it's like a small ring-tailed forest-dwelling mammal. They're very cute, and that's who Lin-Manuel plays in the movie.
That
he voices
character.
the kinkajou. And I don't think this got a wide release here in America, so this is people's first chance to see it. So it's a really good palate cleanser for any 3 of the horror movies, or it's a good double feature with Sonic.
And you may need to have your palate cleansed after Flying Guillotine too.
True.
Mick, thank you so much. As always, we've got the full list of those new releases. You'll find it in the 207 section of our News Center main website and app. Stick around. We're going to be back in just a moment.